Hi, I'm Tony Stoughton, Irish bartender out of Chicago. After years of drinking, I decided to take a year off. So as I begin my journey, I decided to ask fellow bartenders what they do to stay healthy and avoid the industry hazards of the bar business. Welcome to Wide Awake 52. David said, welcome to Wide Awake 52.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Tony.
So yeah, you had quite a journey, in the hospitality industry from, being on the front of the house, the bar, all the way up to the top tier branding and education. I mean, it's been quite a ride, and it's not over yet, I'm sure. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. Yeah, it's been a long journey. It's been, 24, 25 years that I've been around in the hospitality industry in some way, shape, or form. And about half of that in the liquor business, right, on the supplier side and education and rum development side.
Yeah, and you're still going strong.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Obviously, as an established professional, you have a really great program for you you take care of yourself and maintain yourself. So you travel a lot.
Yes.
So what's the secret to if you're in multiple cities?
It's very difficult to stay healthy when you travel this much. And just to give perspective, last year I traveled about 180,000 miles on one airline. That's not counting the other airlines that I just don't track. So that's a lot of traveling. That's a lot of hotel nights. It plays around with your sleep patterns, and sleep has a lot to do with how you regulate your weight and your metabolism. So my metabolism is all over the place. So I have to do, if I wake up, try to do the push-ups and everything else from a physical perspective if I can't hit the gym. And hitting the gym is probably the hardest thing. Finding time when I'm visiting a city, when I'm being picked up to go to a meeting at, maybe 7, 8, 9 a.m. in the morning, then you're driving around with someone to go to another meeting. Even if there is no meeting, if I'm in a city where I know a lot of the industry folks, I have old friends or business relationships, then I want to see them as well. And then you're having dinner, and I don't care what restaurant you go to, man. It's eating out, whether it's Burger King or a Michelin star restaurant. It's all about fat, right?
Sure.
Everything's cooked in
Flavor,
fat,
yeah.
right? So it's either fried, and then they tell you, no, this is pan-seared, yeah, and duck fat. So yeah, you know what I mean? It's the same thing. So you're consuming a lot of high fats. It's very difficult if you're a meat eater to do a full transition to plant-based. But one of the things that I've done from a nutritional perspective is introduce plant-based days. So I might do a full day or 2 days of plant-based while I'm traveling, and that has helped me. Actually lost 10 pounds in the last couple of weeks, and it actually, those days you feel a lot better. So I might contemplate going more plant-based in the future, but I do love meat. So
Sure.
that's not easy. And then from a mental perspective, it's all about attitude. For example, when I wake up in the morning, it's a fantastic day, man. I'm alive. It's as simple as it gets, you know what I mean?
Another day above ground.
Another
right?
day above ground. It's like a lot of people always ask me, like, how you doing? I'm like, fantastic, man. It's and they're like, oh, fantastic, I like that. And you see the response in others when you say that, but you have to believe it for yourself too.
Yeah, I just noticed it with the passing of some of the notable industry icons have passed recently.
Yeah.
And you start to kind of check your own mortality. You start to realize, like, you know what? You got to just not take things, don't worry about things too much. Obviously
Right.
business is important, but,
Right.
you don't kill yourself over something that's not, it's not the end of the world.
Absolutely. Well, you said something that I totally believe in. It's like, don't stress too much. You will always have stress, because a tiny bit of stress, right, is healthy, because it means that you care. But if you have too much stress, is, in my opinion, multiple reasons could be the reason for that. But live in the present. Remember the past, because it's the foundation on which your present is built upon. You can't change the past, so don't linger on it. And plan for the future, but don't focus so much on the goal of the future that you're forgetting that you have to achieve what you need to achieve today. right now and being in the moment.
So what do you do when you're trying to turn it off and you want to relax? I mean, what do you do to cope with that? What do you do when you're trying to switch off? When you're at home, you got home, whether you're in Florida or Puerto Rico, you're at home, you're at your place, you know, you're just,
Yeah.
all right, you're done. You put your computer away, you know, what are you going to do?
So when I'm home, which I'm rarely at home, yeah, there's a method to the madness. I would say that cooking is one of my methods to disconnect. Because when you're cooking, you have to be in the moment. I mean, you're slicing an onion and thinking about the 5 other projects you got going on. You're going to lose a finger, right? So
Sure, you got to pay attention.
Yeah, you got to pay attention to what you're doing, right? If you're not paying attention to the stove, then the food's going to get burnt. So it's a nice way for me to unplug from everything else. Yeah, every now and then you get interrupted or you're watching TV, but you're definitely, it's one of those meditative, almost subconsciously driven exercises where no matter what distracts you, you're always paying attention. And I use cooking. I love to cook, so I think that's why it works for me. I do have a few things in my life that I truly enjoy doing above anything else. One of them is making coffee at home because I make it on the stovetop, and then I have basically an espresso shot's worth of black coffee. Then I make a cortado, and that's how I like to start my day at home. Positive thinking in the morning, followed by a ritual that brings me to me. You know, a lot of folks have affirmations in the morning and stuff like that, and I definitely do. Not every day, but I can tell the difference when I don't do the positive thinking out of bed and don't do the affirmations. If I don't do the...
Because it resonates through your day?
Yeah, you feel different. You feel different. So a few things that I do physically and mentally in the morning, aside from what I already mentioned, which was the positive thinking and I mentioned the coffee, but there's the affirmation of speaking to yourself and with yourself, and a cold shower. So I don't just jump into a cold shower. I transition the water from warm to cold at one point. It does a lot for your body's metabolism. So if you start out your day that way, in my opinion, it's a great way to have a fantastic positive day because it changes the way you receive information and you process information as well, right? Because every time we talk about like positivity, it's all about this internal thing and it's about you. But in reality, it includes how you interpret what people are telling you. So someone could tell you, say you're working on a project, this sucks, right? And let's say you're not in positive thinking mood. Let's say you're not in, it's gonna be a fantastic day. Let's say you're not as preppy as and jumpy as a cold shower. You're gonna interpret it like what the hell does this person know? You're like, I spent 4 weeks working on this and whatever. Now you're in positive thinking. You're like, all right, so and so, what's missing? What do you think I can do to improve it? You start approaching things differently because you've changed the way you're looking at the outside world, which means that you're going to change how you're going to receive what the outside world gives you.
You're sharper.
Absolutely.
And sharper. You have a better approach to things.
Absolutely.
Excellent. And what about what does David do when you've had a tough day? A couple of things didn't go right. Maybe certain issues, there was issues in executing something, or how do you deal with when you're just like, you know, it's not feeling. You're just not. It's today is not the day. What is your strategy for dealing with moments like that?
That's a great question. Dealing with tough days, days where things go south or wrong.
As you said, you don't really drink that much, you know, and you're surrounded by alcohol. And,
Yeah.
I know when I was a younger man, I would always use, I would go out and rip it up with people who were not really related to my work, but people who were like late night people or whatever. But looking back on it now, as a young person, that was fine. But I think now I probably couldn't do that because I'd be sick for a week if I did that now.
Right.
But, you know, now I'm just, you know, for me, I'm just like a private person. But what's your secret?
Well, and we've known each other since those days, right? So I remember, I'm very private. I would say that I spend a lot of time in my head. And actually, that's one thing that a lot of people also may not know about me is that I'm okay with being alone. I'm okay with being with myself. I faced my demons years ago, you know. There might be one or two left, you know, that I still struggle with or fight off every now and then, like any human. But I'm very comfortable being with myself. I'm very comfortable thinking, processing data, meditating on things that happen. But I'm not someone who lingers on anger or frustration. Do I get frustrated? Yes. Do I get angry? Yes. Do I linger on any of that. Not anymore. When I was younger, yes, right? But not to sound like a cliche movie, but frustration and anger. If you spend too much time there, you're going to blame a lot of people and hate a lot of things for your own mistakes. And that's not my thought process. If something goes wrong, I hold myself accountable first. So then the question is, what did I do wrong? What could I have done better? Did I do everything right? If the answer to did I do everything right is yes, then the follow-up question is, what could I have done better? If the answer to that is nothing, then I take a look at the circumstances regarding the challenge or the issue, right? And ultimately, when you get to that phase, you find out that one of those two answers was incorrect.
David, thank you very much. Absolute pleasure. Cheers.
Thank you, Tony.